Joining me on the line right now is a Hall of Fame broadcaster and a good friend of mine, Al Bernstein. Al, how are you doing?
Good. Nice to visit with you again, Corey.
It's, well, we have some Canadian content, sort of, on the Showtime airwaves, of course. This coming weekend, Bermane Stiverne defending his WBC heavyweight title against Deontay Wilder. You know, I do this for a living, so even though I have, you know, a general level of anticipation for every boxing match, I watch everything, there's only a few of them that I get genuinely excited for, and I think this one falls into that category.
Yeah, and you raised the interesting question, how much is it going to resonate to casual sports fans out there? Because heavyweights have this special appeal. And I think I'm excited for this one. I agree with you. We'll understand the fights that are pretty good and still be interested, but this one, I think the momentum for this fight between Stiverne and Wilder really started when Stiverne won the portion of the WBC title, portion of the heavyweight title from Chris Arreola in a fight that was also here in American soil and was a wildly exciting fight. And I see this fight as kind of a clone of that. I actually think it's going to be the same kind of firefight ending in a knockout of one of these two men. And I think it's genuinely anticipated by people. And you mentioned Stiverne, of course, who has a history in Canada. He's really a man for all places, isn't he? He's Haitian. He's lived in Canada. He's lived in the United States. He's and I find him actually to be, I know a lot of the focus here in the United States is on Wilder because he was born here. I find Bermane Stiverne to be a fascinating, cerebral, kind of introverted guy.
The one thing that I find about this fight as people are analyzing it is that they're either all the way on one end or all the way on the other. So with Deontay Wilder, they either think that he's the future of the heavyweight division or he's a complete fraud. You know, we have seen Wilder be susceptible. We've seen him wobbled sort of against Nikolai Firtha, but is it possible to have a balanced analysis of either of these fighters?
I guess it would be. It should be, shouldn't it? I mean, the problem is, I think boxing in general, fans, media, etc. I think I believe, well, it's probably true in sports media in general these days, that it's pretty hard to get that gray area. But I think in this fight, it's pretty easy to make I could see people making a stark kind of decision. But I think there is a gray area. Look, we don't know. We know that Wilder hasn't fought great competition. We know that he hasn't gone past 4 rounds. As you said, he was wobbled momentarily against Firtha. There are reports he's been hurt in the gym. Whether they're true or not remains to be seen. We don't know if Wilder can go past 4. We don't know if he has a suspect chin. And we haven't seen his technique when he's involved in a lot of action. There are some hints that his technique goes a little south when he's involved in a firefight, okay, which I think at some point he's going to be. But we don't know this. And those are questions that are to be answered. And in Stiverne's case, we know he can go 12 rounds and do it in a very good way because he did it against Arreola in their first fight. And he's done it before, and he work rate up when he does it. But he was also hurt against Chris Arreola early in the fight. Well, will he be hurt against Wilder, and will he be able to get through those early rounds?
All right, well, let's talk about without giving away any spoilers for Saturday's broadcast, let's talk about what your keys to this fight are going to be, because I'm sure everyone is going to say, well, Stiverne needs to get inside on Deontay Wilder. How exactly does he do that?
Well, I think there's 2 things. One, he keeps his left hand very low. I don't know. He puts his left hand up, Stiverne, when he's against the ropes, which, for his sake, he better not be there too often. I think he's got to keep that left higher than he normally does. And he has a very solid punishing jab. And even though Wilder has a height and reach advantage, it's very incumbent upon Stiverne to jab his way in. And, the great Gil Clancy, who trained Emil Griffith, who was a shorter welterweight, said, it's not about height and didn't have a big reach. Landing the jab isn't always about height and reach. It's about timing. It's about being committed to using the punch. And that's what Stiverne really, really needs to do. He's got to make sure he jabs his way in. And his jab is a solid punch. It's not just a pawing jab. and then that'll put him in a position where he might be able to land some of the other power punches.
All right, well, we're looking forward to an exciting 2015 and certainly an exciting heavyweight clash this weekend. Best of luck on the call this weekend, and I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
I'm looking forward to it. Corey, always good to talk to you. And if fans want to get some more thoughts from me, they can check out my video that I will do, my boxing hangout, on youtube.com, Al's Boxing Hangouts.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Al.
Take care.
All right, take care.